All right, gang, sexy. Can't believe I'm going to tackle this. So this is GBACW River of Death. I needed to come home to what I thoroughly enjoy. So to GBACW it is. It's not the only thing I enjoy, but this is my favorite system. All right, so River of Death, Chickamauga. They say that, I mean, Gettysburg, 3 days Gettysburg is a 3-day game to play, a lot of moving pieces. Apparently, this one here is just as long. This is also 3 days, September 18th, 19th, and into the 20th. Uh, I'm playing it from the 18th, and it ends on the evening of the 20th. I think it's the last daylight turn on the 20th. Big map, 4 mappers stretch the long way, 2 side by side going the long way. Not necessarily sure if I have the deployments correct. The Confederates, I think, were pretty easy. I know that Rosecrans and the trains, that right in here, that was pretty easy. I made some notes so I remember things not to do until a certain turn. This right here was a bit of a headache, so I'm not sure if I got that right. There was something that said in there about must be south of the road. Well, how can it be south of a north and south road? I don't understand how that one worked. So anyhow, I set them up as best as I thought I could. And you notice there's really not much else of Union here in the middle of the map other than the Cavs. It's Wild, of course, Wilder, his forces, mounted infantry, is lethal with their weapons that they have, covering the fords there, which the Confederates are going to try to push across. All right. Way up yonder, you've got some blocked or some open crossings, which Confederates are going to come in on. And then far back up in the corner of the map, yeah, I'm walking around because it's a big map, is an entire division or corps, whatever, in reserve, and they can't do nothing until the 1500 turn, so that'll be the second turn of the game. And a little comment there. Oh, yeah, Steedman is in command because their commander Granger is hobnobbing all the way down here with Rosecrans, and he can't leave, sorry about the light, he can't leave Rosecrans until 0700 the next morning. So Steedman is in command. All right, now automatic victory conditions for this game. If the Confederates take McFarland Gap or the road to Rossville up here, those are automatic victory conditions. For the Union, the fords, there's a list of the fords and crossings over here on the Chickamauga that if they control is it the east side of 3 of them or west side? Let me see here. If they control both sides of any 3 of the following bridges, so there's a list of bridges. If they control those, then that becomes an automatic victory. So the Confederates need to push across, take all the crossings, and don't let the Union get their hands back on them again. So I got a feeling this might be kind of a spread out fight. You've got the victory point system, and if there's no automatic victory, you're going to use the victory points, and that's for making ineffective formations. You get them for combat ineffectiveness, and you see there's the list right here on the page. I got to use some of the old. Obviously, you got to use the playbook from the old stuff. Okay. Here's what I do like about this one. I can't recall. I don't think any of the newer ones are set up like this, but all your charts and tables for your activations, your efficiency markers, your turn record track, eliminated units, AMs, it's all right here on the map. Some of the special rule stuff, your terrain chart, your weapons multipliers and range charts there, okay? Little notes on rally, stacking limitations, brigade coordination table, all that stuff, random events table, all that's right here on the map, and that's pretty cool. Now, we'll be using 2023 rules, and before I start playing, I'm going to make sure, I need to look at the latest weapons ranges thing to see if the weapons that were in this game are covered, but I got a feeling I'm probably going to end up having to use this one here, because I think these are 140 yards per hex, and I'm not sure if all the games are the same. You'd think I would know that by now, but I don't. Heck, they even got a little abbreviated sequence of play right there, but we'll be using sequence of play out of the book, unless there's some added sequence that goes in here. All right, so I wanted to pop this on real quick. Like I say, I step back as far as I can, which I know there's no way. It's a big, big map, and because the maps are laid vertically, side by side on their vertical sides, it makes the area even that big. And I mean, come on, the Chickamauga, jeez, man, that thing goes all the way up to yonder. And you've got Forrest, you've got Wheeler, you got some of John Hunt Morgan's cavalry in here. Really, I guess those are the. And then of course you got Longstreet in here with who's, I think it's Kershaw's running the division initially, but you got Longstreet where I guess he gets off the train and goes pretty much right into the fight. So, and you've got this thing called designated destination. So the units coming on, and now that y'all are all seasick, they have to go to certain locations on the map using certain crossings. Okay, like i.e. Stewart's division right here. You don't see me. He has to cross Thedford Ford, and they are moving towards the Lee Gordon Mill. I believe that's what it is. And then the other division for Buckner here, they cross at Dalton's Ford, and they do the same thing. So this is going to be interesting because your march movement in this game. So on the roads, I think it's a half movement point. I have to look at the trails and stuff because this was apparently very nasty, kind of like the wilderness, only of the West to move through. And there's not a whole lot of places to move on roads. So, and then you've got limited activations. Y'all got this thing that is focused around Bragg's inconsistencies. To be right on top of the game 1 minute, and then 10 minutes later he's about as dumb as he can be. And they have these chits here that will come into play on the next turn, where you'll draw them for, I think it's for like each corps, and they might get punished. You know, their activation or efficiency ability might get punished. They might not even move at all because of Bragg's inefficiency. So we'll see how that works out. That'll be an interesting rule to play in this game here. There were no march order chits in this game. I think all the unit counters and stuff like that, I think that's all good. I don't even know where I got this or who I got this from, but none of the strength markers and stuff were in this thing that I can remember. So fortunately, I have all the system games, so I'm using them. There are breastworks in this game, as you can see. One of the cab units for the Union sitting on a Ford right there. He's already in a breastwork right there. So there you have it. The River of Death, getting ready to get it started. Probably take me a couple of days to do, some of the activations on this first turn just to get comfortable with how this game plays and how it flows and seeing where all these reinforcements come in, because you can see it's a mass of Confederates on the board already. And then other than the reserve unit way up yonder in the north, this is pretty much it for the Union as far as any sizable force. All right, let's get this posted. Let you see how we're getting started, and hopefully y'all keep up with this. You know the deal. If you want to keep up with what I'm doing here, hit that old subscribe, hit that old ringy-dingy bell button so that you'll be alerted every time I get something, all right? All right, we'll talk to y'all soon.